Most gardeners have heard the hype about biochar, the so-called black gold that's supposed to fix every soil problem. But here's a truth that rarely gets attention. The old-fashioned wood ash sitting in your stove or fire pit can sometimes do a better job, especially when it comes to reviving depleted, acidic or compacted soil. Gardeners throughout history used ash long before biochar was even a buzzword, and they understood something modern growers often forget, that real soil balance begins with minerals, not just carbon. When used correctly, wood ash doesn't just improve pH, it feeds your soil with a slow, balanced stream of potassium, calcium and trace minerals that worms and microbes depend on. The key is understanding how to apply it properly, because if done wrong, it can burn roots and disrupt microbial life. But when done right, it becomes one of the most effective zero-cost soil tonics available to the home gardener. Biochar works by providing structure. It holds, waterhouses microbes and lasts for decades underground. Wood ash, on the other hand, acts immediately. It neutralizes acidity in compacted or over-fertilized soils and replenishes the minerals that plants pull out year after year. This is especially valuable in gardens where organic matter is regularly added, but soil pH keeps dropping, leaving worms inactive and nutrients locked away. One handful of wood ash can contain over 20 essential minerals, including potassium, magnesium, zinc, manganese, and silica. These are the elements that help cell formation, boost root strength, and encourage earthworms to thrive. Where biochar creates long-term structure, wood ash restores short-term fertility. A quick, mineral-rich reset for tired beds. The most important rule with wood ash is moderation. A small amount goes a long way. For every square metre of garden bed, half a cup to 1 cup of fine, clean wood ash is usually enough. Mix it lightly into the top 2 to 3 inches of soil, or scatter it over a composting layer where worms can work it in gradually. Always make sure the ash is completely cold and comes only from untreated natural wood, never from charcoal briquettes, painted timber or plywood. These can introduce heavy metals or chemicals that destroy microbial life. Fresh hardwood ash works best because it's rich in calcium carbonate and potassium. If you're adding it to compost, mix 1 part ash for every 20 parts organic material by volume. This ratio neutralizes acids in food waste and speeds up decomposition, producing a more stable, worm-friendly compost. You know, healthy soil really thrives when minerals are balanced. Acidic soils, well, they often bind up nutrients like phosphorus and magnesium, which leaves plants weak, even though the soil might look dark and rich. The calcium carbonate found in wood ash naturally raises soil pH, and you see, it unlocks those trapped nutrients. No need for synthetic fertilizers. And, more importantly, worms respond quite quickly to that improved mineral balance. In neutral to slightly alkaline soil, they move about freely, multiply faster, and create stable castings that, in turn, further enhance fertility. Wood ash also helps reduce that sour smell in compacted soils, that sign of anaerobic bacteria, by improving oxygen flow and encouraging aerobic microbes to take over. Biochar has its place in long-term carbon storage, but for immediate biological revival, wood ash offers results within just a few days. Too much wood ash can do more harm than good. Over-application leads to excessively high pH, locking out essential nutrients like iron and phosphorus. The goal isn't to turn your soil alkaline, but really to restore balance. If you notice yellowing leaves or stunted growth after using ash, it's a good idea to test your soil. It may be time to add compost or mulch to buffer the pH back down. Another mistake folks sometimes make is applying ash directly on young seedlings or freshly transplanted crops. The salts, you see, can damage those tender roots. Always mix ash into the soil a few days before planting, or alternatively apply it as a top dressing around established plants, making sure to keep it at least 2 inches from the stems. Now, never combine wood ash with nitrogen-heavy fertilizers like urea or fresh manure. The reaction actually releases ammonia gas, which wastes nitrogen and can harm soil organisms. Instead, it's best to alternate them: ash 1 week, compost or manure the next. One of the most powerful ways to use ash, honestly, is in combination with organic material. When you mix it into compost or bury it beneath layers of mulch, the minerals bind to carbon and humus, preventing leaching and creating a nicely balanced nutrient profile. For instance, layering just 1 thin dusting of ash between grass clippings or shredded leaves really helps prevent the pile from turning acidic and, speeds up the breakdown process. In no-dig gardens, it's best to scatter ash lightly over the surface before applying your compost or leaf mulch. Rain and worm activity will carry it down slowly, creating a steady mineral drip that supports root growth throughout the season. A balanced soil with adequate calcium and potassium not only feeds your plants, but also, strengthens cell walls, making them more resistant to drought, pests, and disease. Before chemical fertilizers took over, wood ash was really the universal soil remedy. Farmers used it to restore fertility after heavy harvests, to sweeten sour fields, and to boost yields naturally. That wisdom still holds. While biochar offers structure, ash offers vitality, immediate mineral nutrition for living soil. For gardeners who value microbial health, worm activity and natural fertility, wood ash remains one of the most underused yet powerful soil amendments available. It's simple, local, free, and when handled with respect, it can outperform expensive synthetic inputs without harming the delicate balance of your soil. If you're tired of relying on fertilizers that promise quick results but leave your soil weaker each season, it's time to return to what truly works. Start small. Experiment with wood ash in your compost or raised beds and observe how the soil responds. You'll notice stronger plants, better drainage and livelier worm populations in weeks. For more science-backed, field-tested soil restoration methods like this, subscribe to Soil Doctor and share this video with gardeners who are ready to grow smarter, not harder.